Up live for you guys here. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. See what we got here. All right, go back to the dashboard. All right, we're connecting. Everything's good. Yeah, we pretty much got us a show, man. Let's go ahead. See here. Cool, we live. That's good. All right, everything checks out good. Make sure we're recording in the background. Yep, that's good. All right, y'all. Let's do this.
Warning, the RCWR show with Lee Sanders is intended for a mature audience only. The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. Covering the latest in wrestling and beyond since 2011. You're listening to the RCWR show. Now, your host, live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Good Monday night to you guys and gals. Lee Sanders here. You're checking out all new The RCWR show, dropping for Monday night of February 8th, 2021. Covering the latest in all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond. It's The RCWR show. Oh, Raw. Man, was that a little bit excruciating for this week? I gotta put it on you guys. What did you think? I don't really think we need to put a poll out there. I think all of us might be feeling a little bit unanimous here. Now, maybe you could say to a certain degree we're dealing with a little bit of jet lag, so to speak, because after all, we did have the Super Bowl just less than 24 hours ago. And I mean, it wasn't like the game went on until 11:30 at night. Everything was pretty much wrapped up, I would say, by about 10:30. That is, if you had checked out the post show and everything. But then you're feeding off of that buzz, and the question becomes, all right, so what did you do afterwards? Did you watch Queen Latifah in the new series, The Equalizer? Did you stay up a little bit extra late and checked out Stephen Colbert when you heard that Metallica was his special musical guests? You know, what happened there with you guys? I mean, for me personally, I actually was able to go to bed at a relatively decent hour, mainly because I had more classes. So basically, what I've been doing these past couple of weeks, it's all just been centered around just, really one class for one particular subject. But then after a certain amount of weeks, I had other classes that was getting ready to start up. So as it stands now, I have a very hectic schedule because today was the beginning officially of one additional course that I'm taking. And this course I'm now taking 2 times a week. And there's a decent amount of work that I have to do for this respective course on top of what I'm already doing for my other courses. So for me, I actually was able to go to bed at a relatively decent hour. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I was pretty much good. But can we all be in agreement? I don't really think it's jet lag from the Super Bowl weekend. I think when it's all said and done, no, what we got this week with WWE RAW, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough to sit through. I gotta say, pretty rough to sit through. Let me know what you think. We're streaming live right now for the next little bit. Streaming live on the Periscope, Twitter. We also got the Twitch. We're also streaming on YouTube. Just use the keywords, the RCWR show. And like I had said to you guys last week, we're still dealing with a little bit of tech issues going on as far as streaming on Facebook and all that. Nothing wrong with Facebook officially. It's just a learning curve that I'm having with the software that I'm using. So hopefully I can get that resolved. If not this week, I'll definitely have that be resolved for you guys next week. So remember how we're setting up the new show here, new show format here, where pretty much I'm only going to be doing about an hour, hour, 10 minutes. And then we're in and we're out. And that's how we're pretty much going to do it. Gotta tell you, work threw me a curveball. I was not expecting a curveball. But I've been so used to having, okay, I got these days off. But this week they hit me with an interesting curveball and they gave me an extra bonus day that they needed help. And it was kind of, that kind of, now what does that mean for Wednesday? I don't know, guys, because the Wednesdays luckily are still mine, but by me taking on the one new course that I was telling you guys, that one we meet up in the evenings on Mondays and Wednesdays. So pretty much, we're meeting up at 6 o'clock in the evening until 9 o'clock at night. So by the time I'm done, let's home in on Wednesday for a hot minute. By the time we get to Wednesday, I'd have already missed the first hour of AEW and NXT. So what am I supposed to do? It's one thing if I'm just trying to catch up on one show, you feel me? But then it's okay, nah, we need you to catch up on two shows, and then we need for you to be ready in time. So that's going to be, I got to tell you, that's going to be very challenging. Very challenging. So I'm going to put up a poll pretty much tomorrow asking you guys, what do you think? What would you like me to do? And I thought about it. We could either have me just talk about AEW, Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, or I could talk about NXT. And maybe how we could essentially do it is we could pretty much rotate it each week, if you guys would like that. Now, don't worry, because I know there are probably some of you guys, well, no, I kind of like when you actually talk about both shows. I'll actually leave a poll for one of the options. I'll actually have there be an option that'll say, no, I would actually like to hear both shows and a couple other little trinkets talked about, in one show. No, don't worry. I'm going to have all the bases covered when I create the poll for you guys, but look out for that. I'm going to create that poll. I'm going to have it up on YouTube, and I'm going to have that poll be up on Twitter as well. So no way you guys are going to be able to miss it, but give me that feedback because I do greatly appreciate it. There's really no reason for us to be spamming all over the place talking about Raw. Because I know normally we go about maybe 30 minutes talking about Raw. There's really no need to be talking Raw for about 30 minutes because there really wasn't anything that you could truly take out of this episode overall, just as far as, oh, well, this was good, and oh man, that was good, and oh, this was, and oh, what about, and nah, nothing like that at all. Okay, look, let's start with the positives. Can we do that? Let's start with the positives. I gotta say, as far as matches of the evening, I did enjoy, for what it was worth, Lacey Evans, Charlotte Flair. I actually thought that was good. I also enjoyed the tease that we got there a little bit of potentially somewhere down the road, perhaps, for sure, Lacey Evans, Charlotte Flair being a tag team. We saw the tease of that come about tonight on Raw. Ric Flair in his Pimp Me Out outfit pretty much putting the idea out there. You two would be a great team. You're very similar to one another, and just think about what you girls could do together, combining your forces and all that. And, I think that would be a very, very interesting dynamic. When you just kind of take a step back, that would be kind of cool. But even though we got that little bit of a tease, it seems for now, Charlotte is still on that side of she can't stand Lacey Evans' guts, can't stand what her father is doing by aligning herself with Lacey. Right, so you got that aspect going on. But then also at the same time, we officially got the declaration by Ric Flair and Lacey Evans that they're eyeing that Raw Women's Championship around Asuka, and they're coming after that. So this match that ultimately went down between Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair had serious implications tonight, as the winner from this would move into a spot where they would be able to face Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. So you hear that, you're going, woo. All right, so where exactly we're going here? So the match, for what it was worth, knowing the stipulations that went into this match, the conditions, and then just the opponents themselves, the quality in talent from these two women, you just felt and you knew, okay, we're going to get a pretty good matchup. All right, let's see what happens here. So good match for what it was worth. Charlotte's temperament essentially getting the best of her, not heeding the referee's warnings, actually getting physical with the referee. Charlotte Flair pretty much getting disqualified that way, not really giving a damn though. I mean, she really wanted to put a hurting on Lacey Evans, but Charlotte Flair essentially losing by being disqualified. So Lacey, as tainted or whatever you want to dub it, however you want to dub it, for what it's worth, Lacey Evans is the winner. She gets to face Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship at WWE's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view that's going to be going down next Sunday. Not this Sunday, next Sunday. Remember, this weekend, it is all about WWE NXT. You know, they got a great event that's going to be happening on the WWE Network. I'm actually looking forward to that event. Before anybody asks, yes, I will be streaming, or not streaming, but I'll be streaming a post show. I'll be streaming a post show covering Fallout from that event. So yeah, so we got that. There was actually a couple of matches that got announced for Elimination Chamber as a result of watching this WWE Raw. That much I can tell you. If you were looking for some type of progression or whatnot, we did get a couple of little spots here and there. Bobby Lashley will be defending his United States Championship in a triple threat match against Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. Again, triple threat match. Lashley defending against those two guys in a triple threat match. The way this one came about, pretty much, you had to watch Raw tonight. Keith Lee and Riddle backstage earlier during Raw. Keith Lee questioned whether or not Riddle really had that what's the right word to use here? I guess you could say Keith Lee questions rather if Riddle really had what it takes, if he really had the proper tools to get over that hump that he's been dealing with since he's been involved with the Hurt Business for these past several weeks. Can he really get over that one hump and be able to become the new United States champion? Riddle, on the other hand, feels it's just a matter of time before he hits pay dirt. And this pretty much led to a interesting position here where, all right, well, let's see what happens when we go out there in the ring and we face each other one-on-one. The match that Riddle and Keith Lee had, huge implications, because the winner that pretty much came out of this one would no doubt go on to face Lashley for his United States title. Now, sadly, I did not get to see who won. I'll have to rely on you guys that watch Raw tonight. I don't want to speculate who won, but the one thing that I do remember was post-match, Lee, Riddle embracing each other, holding their hands up in the air and everything, being pretty classy with one another. And the next thing you know, Lashley just from out of nowhere attacks both men. I mean, he is just serious freaking havoc on both men. And I gotta tell you, I've been loving what's been happening with Lashley as of late. You know, if you ask me how I'm feeling about Lashley these days, I honestly would tell you I am definitely a big fan of Lashley's, right to the point. At some juncture in 2021, we just got to see Lashley be competing for that World Heavyweight title. We got to see Lashley become a World Heavyweight champion. We just got to. The work that he has been putting in week week out, best thing that has really ever happened to him this go around with the WWE is being associated with MVP, and it's really taking him to that next level. As I said a couple of weeks ago, MVP has essentially been like Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Just put that bitch on everything and it's good. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much like that. MVP is the hot sauce that you need, or that mumbo sauce or whatever, for that fried chicken to take it to that next level, yo. That's exactly what's going on with MVP. But no, seriously, I feel that confident in Lashley. I would be shocked if, where we are now in February, I would be shocked if come October 1st, 2021, and mark this down, because I want somebody to timestamp this, and I want somebody to come back to me on October 1st, 2021 and say, hey, Lee, remember you said that, hey, you'd be pretty shocked if by October 1st of this year, Lashley wasn't a World Heavyweight Champion. Well, here we are. Lashley still is not a World Champion this go-round. A World Heavyweight Champion this go-round. What's your 2 cents? What do you think is going on? And I'll tell you, I'll be shocked. I sincerely will be shocked. Really been enjoying this stuff. Good work. Good work. See, so yes, we got that one as a result of what Lashley had did to both of those men. You know, somehow it was announced later on during the night that there would be a triple threat match between all three men at Elimination Chamber for the championship. Also, another interesting development, how Raw opened up. We didn't get, I'll say this much about Raw. It was nice that as far as the opener goes, we didn't get a long, drawn out 15, 20-minute spot. Instead, what we got was 8 minutes. And I remember vividly seeing this because I had Raw on my big screen TV. And then I'm going, oh, time to feed the dog. So I get my tablet and I'm going downstairs and I've got Raw playing on my tablet. And I'm feeding my dog and I'm doing a little bit of dishes and I'm I got Raw in the background, so I'm able to glance, look here and there. Next thing I know, commercial. Going, damn, that was quick. Seems like I just literally came downstairs. What's going on? And I remember I looked at the clock on my microwave and it was the 08 mark. And I'm going, damn, they normally don't do a freaking commercial until about 15-minute mark, 20-minute mark. Okay, all right, cool. But like the opener that they did there, rather peculiar though. I gotta say, I'm very intrigued as far as, okay, where are we going here if we're going anywhere at all? To my point, for those of you that didn't see, so Adam Pearce was in the ring and he was getting ready to deliver some blockbuster news, but then Shane McMahon came out and he got his proper introduction and everything. And as we heard from the commentators, we pretty much hadn't seen Shane McMahon in the Thunderdome before. So you're going, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, well, cool. That's nice and everything. But seriously, like, what Shane's doing here? What's Shane doing here? We need to know what's going on here. Shane pretty much wanting to find out what Adam Pearce had planned for the main event at Elimination Chamber. And we found out the big reveal that there's going to be pretty much a 5-way for the WWE Championship, at which Shane McMahon, hey, Pearce, love your idea. That's very good. That's how you take the initiative. Very impressed. And he pretty much just pat Adam Pearce on the shoulder, told him he was doing a pretty good job. Keep it up. Rolled out. Bullshit you not. That pretty much was it for Shane O'Mac. And the 8 minutes opener that we got for Raw, that was pretty much it. So you're like, wait a minute, what exactly is going on here? All right, so these are your participants for the Elimination Chamber as Drew McIntyre defends his WWE Championship. AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, The Miz, Randy Orton, Sheamus. Now, what do all of those men have in common? All of these respected men at one point was a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. All right, so, hey, I'm down with that. That's the type of match that we're going to have. I'm down with that. And when you look at these names that are involved here, if anything, you're looking at Drew McIntyre and you're saying, okay, Drew is the one that is the inexperienced. He's the one that's probably going to need just a little tiny bit of help. Not too much. It's not like you got to hold him by the hand or anything, but he definitely is going to need just a tiny little bit of help. But, the other guys, they pretty much, they know what to do. They know what to do, right? I mean, these are all veterans in their own respective right. I mean, you just look at the years of experience here going into this Elimination Chamber match. I mean, so I got to say, for Elimination Chamber so far, even though we only got 3 matches, the card is shaping up to be a pretty good card so far. I got to say, on paper, it's shaping up to be a pretty damn good card. We would see Shane O'Mac one last time as he was getting ready to get in a limo and he bumped into Drew McIntyre. Remember, there was a period there before I guess you could say Drew McIntyre somehow saw the light and figured that what he was doing on the path of evil and unrighteousness of unholiness, that he needed to somehow come to Jesus and find the light, and now that he's found the light, he's for the people. He fights for the people, he's for everybody, he loves everybody. But remember, him and Shane O'Mac were pretty fucking tight. So Drew says to Shane, hey, what's going on here? I was supposed to have a one-on-one matchup with Sheamus. That's what's supposed to happen. I already issued it to Sheamus. I pretty much put Sheamus on point last week. If he wanted a shot at the title, it's his. What's going on here? Why you got me defending this title against 4 other men at Elimination Chamber? And Shane O'Mac, hey, wasn't being disrespectful to you, so please don't take it that way. No, we just really needed something that was truly main event caliber quality. That's all we're thinking about. We just want to make sure that this Elimination Chamber pay-per-view coming up, that it's popping on all cylinders. That's why, we pretty much made the decision that we made. Nothing personal against you. And he pretty much told him good luck. So, I would call it lazy ass writing. But is it safe to say that what we got from Shane O'Mac tonight, maybe it's just the beginning of his next story arc? I mean, remember what I was saying early on, and I think only me and a couple of other podcasters, just a small handful, so about 5 if you're lucky. I know I was definitely one of the first. And you can go back, you can check out the previous shows. But I have been spinning this idea for the longest time that Raw Underground was nothing more than a recruitment and training center for Retribution. And I always said, okay, who signed Retribution to the contracts that they signed? Like, why? First of all, why would they even agree to contracts, to signing them? And the lame ass story that we had saw that Mustafa Ali shared online and everything. Like, yeah, you're trying to do damage control. I get that. I get it. Look, I can't shit on you. You're trying to do the best you can to clean it up. Okay. But it still got a lot of holes in it. Okay, whatever. But still you're going, who the hell? Even in storyline, the commentators, who signed these guys to contracts and why? So, that's always been kind of one of those last lingering, okay, who's really behind this? And quietly, unceremoniously, just for no reason whatsoever, Raw Underground just gets totally abandoned. We don't see Shane O'Mac again. Now we see Shane O'Mac, and by the way, I love how there was no reference there to Raw Underground or whatever. I guess it was just, you know what, this really ain't hitting. It ain't a hit. Let's not even, it didn't happen. But I thought I saw Shane. It wasn't him. It's kind of like one of those type, Q Shaggy. It's kind of one of those, it was not me, one of those deals. So, I would like to believe that there's more going on with this Shane O'Mac appearance than just what we got tonight. I'm hoping. Let me know. Are you guys hoping as well? You guys kind of got the spidey sense tingling there going on? Or hell, maybe this has nothing to do with Retribution. Maybe this is a new story arc just all together. And if it is a new story arc altogether with Shane, then, what's the end here? What's the end result that's going to be happening? Is the question that we all need to be asking ourselves. And before anybody throws the crazy idea out there, no, I'm not seeing Shane O'Mac and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. There ain't no damn reason why that needs to happen. Nobody's asking to see that. No, seriously, find me a fan that is sitting there saying, it'd be a cool idea. Shane McMahon versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. You show me a fan that legitimately is saying that. And I want to interview that fan. Seriously. I want to interview that fan because it's like, all right, try to convince me and everybody else why this is a groovy ass idea. Like, seriously convince us. See, other than that, see, just try to see if there was anything else noteworthy from Raw this week. Let me know if there's something, for those of you that watch Raw, let me know if there's something noteworthy you want me to talk about for a couple of minutes. But I mean, honestly, you know what? I gave it up to Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans. I also want to give a nod to AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy for what they did. That actually was a good match as well, for what it was worth. Those boys went about 15, 16, maybe about 17 minutes long too. So I actually thought that was a pretty good match for what it was worth. Let's see. No, I didn't particularly care. Oh, Bad Bunny was back. Yeah, Bad Bunny was back in the house yet again. He's got his own little entrance and everything. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but apparently he's got limited edition merchandise that's available right now on the WWE network. I'm not sure how many of you guys last went to the WWE shop site, but yeah, he's got some limited edition merchandise. I mean, he has been making a killing ever since he popped up. The first batch of merchandise that he had on there, that shit got sold out ASAP. But when you go on WWE's website, man, you just type in Bad Bunny on the WWE shop site. And he's got some shirts. You know, it's going to cost you about $27.99. And you'll see the ones I'm talking about that got sold out. Which are some really cool ass fucking designs. But they got sold out real freaking quick. Other than that, I thought there was also some real like exclusive limited edition stuff, but I'm not seeing it right now. But yeah, there was a Bad Bunny Royal Rumble poster that was sold out. His Royal Rumble t-shirt, that sold out. All the Royal Rumble Bad Bunny gear, all sold out. So now you just pretty much got what's left. You pretty much got stuff for youth. And looks like you got a couple of unisex shirts at the very top. Go check it out when you guys get a chance. I mean, honestly, the design that uses his silhouette, you know, he's just jumping in the air or whatever. I mean, that is just lazy as fuck. I swear, when you guys look this up, I swear it looks like fucking Gumby. It looks like Gumby was just tossed in the air. That's exactly how it looks. But yeah, man, looks like we're really going in a Bad Bunny WrestleMania match. That's exactly how it's looking right now. Look, hey, me personally, I could care less. Yeah, I'm not watching WrestleMania for Bad Bunny. Not saying he's a bad artist, but if you were to put my hand to the fire and ask me straight up, what do I think about his music? It's not my cup of tea, but hey, that's what makes this whole world go round. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw all the shit that was said about The Weeknd performing at the Super Bowl. A lot of mixed reactions for The Weeknd. Right down to the point, I actually had put a poll up and I was asking people, it was a Twitter exclusive. I had asked people, hey, what do you think about The Weeknd? And the responses were just very interesting. Actually, and I can share that with you guys right now. Let's see. I gave people 4 options. One option was good stuff. Another option, this music is whacked. Next option, just here for the game. Last option, just here for the ads. Check this out. 8% watch the Super Bowl just for the ads. 17% were just there to watch the game. 25% felt the music was whacked. 50% felt, you know what, he was good. It was good stuff. So, that's just my respected snapshot from my respected poll. But I did check out other polls where I've seen some polls where they were not as kind to the weekend. You feel where I'm coming from? So it just really depends. But getting back to Bad Bunny, hey, just because I don't particularly like something, it doesn't make me a bad guy. Just because maybe you didn't particularly care for Bad Bunny's music, it doesn't mean that you have bad taste or you don't know good music when you hear it. Like I always say, if we all in this country, in this world for that matter, all liked the same thing. If we all liked the same thing and we all thought the same way, talked the same way, it'd be boring as fuck. It just would. For some people, they think it would be a groovy. No, seriously, it would be boring as fuck. It would be no different than. It would be no different than everybody having the same type of dog or the same type of cat. You feel me? It'd be one of those type of deals. But hey, look, he's getting this opportunity. He's been a wrestling fan for quite a long time. He's getting this opportunity to work with the WWE. At the same time, tap into WWE's age demographics there. The 18 to 49 bracket particularly. His merchandise is selling, hey, he is meeting all those points from a marketing and a PR standpoint. So I can't hate from those aspects. Remember, you're talking to somebody that worked in market research for a decade. So, hey, I got no problem with that. And I hope that whatever he's getting ready to do at WrestleMania, I hope he's able to hit a home run. If he's serious and he's trying to do some stuff at Mania, then you know what? All right. First of all, I'm not going to take it too serious because this is pretty much a celebrity that's coming in from the outside. It's kind of one of those type of deals. So I'm definitely going to look at it from just and I think the way everybody else needs to be looking at Bad Bunny, if he is in fact going to be doing something in a physical standpoint at WrestleMania, I think that the way we all need to grade Bad Bunny is to be grading him from the standpoint of, okay, well, compared to that time when Karl Malone, Dennis Rodman, Jay Leno, when they came in and did something. Or, hey, remember that time William Shatner? Or how about Shaq and Big Show, that brief little tease that we saw there? Or how about, that's how we should be grading Bad Bunny with those list of other celebrities that's particularly coming to the WWE over the years. That's the grading system that we should be sticking to and pretty much go from there. But Edge, of course, we got the tease of Edge tonight. What decision is Edge going to make? Is Edge going to face the Raw champion, the SmackDown champion, the NXT champion? What's Edge's decision? And it's like, you're automatically saying to yourself, okay, Edge isn't going to make a decision here tonight. Why would Edge make a decision? We just watched this guy give Drew McIntyre a heads up. You got a serious bullseye on your back. You need to watch yourself. I'm going to be watching you very closely to see what's going on with you, because you got a serious challenge ahead on your road to WrestleMania. We literally saw Edge, to a certain extent, give the same speech, on the other two shows, giving that respected champion props and everything. But, so it's like, okay, so, and if you watched NXT, and I was a little bit, I'm trying to figure out the right word. I guess for me, what was most irritating about Edge coming out and cutting the promo that he was cutting out was the fact that there was no acknowledgement of his NXT appearance from the standpoint of what he told those guys, what he told particularly Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. He said to them, I'm going to be paying very close attention to your match at TakeOver. And depending on what happens with you guys at TakeOver, that may further expedite my decision even more on what I need to be doing come WrestleMania. So good luck to you both. Yeah, I really wish that somehow that kind of would have been brought up there and somehow factored in a way where, yeah, so how much of an impact is that takeover gonna have on Edge? You feel where I'm coming from? But it was kind of nice how they did Edge tonight, but we all knew in the back of our minds that was following what he was doing on last week's of shows. Okay, he's not making a decision just yet. But hey, it was great seeing Edge out there. I'll definitely say that. It was great seeing Edge out there. But other than that, let's see, we got the Edge appearance. Let me just look at the other matches here real quick before we get ready to wrap this up. Just to talk of Raw, that is, because we got loads of other stuff we can get into. But just to talk of Raw, I'm just going through the rest of the matches here. Yeah, pretty rough. Pretty rough to watch, honestly. I remember at one point, I actually fell asleep. No bullshit. The show actually put me to sleep. That's a bad thing. Anytime you can put my ass to sleep, that's a bad thing. Don't even get me started on the tables match between Lana and Nia Jax. I didn't particularly care for it. I remember when I woke up too, that match was actually on and it essentially put me right back to sleep. I bullshit you not. I bullshit you not. But luckily I had an alarm set, lets me know, hey, time for you to do the show. Let's go. Start prepping. And yeah, that pretty much was it there. But yeah, rough fucking show, man. Rough fucking show. Not even worth watching. So if you didn't check it out this week, honestly, your best bet, just go check out the highlight stuff. You know they're gonna upload it on their YouTube channel, on WWE's YouTube channel. You know they're gonna upload the highlights over there. So I would say just go out of your way, check it out, and you guys will be solid. You guys will be solid. But other than that, that's the talk of WWE Raw. Hey, let's do this. Let's take some time out and let's recognize some of our sponsors right now. Patreon.com/RCWR show. Check out bonus audio, video content you won't be able to find anywhere else. Got to give a shout out to my amigo, Anthony DeBlasi, Don Tony. And you know what? I didn't get a chance to mention this on the show. And I think it was all about the timing of it, because if I remember right, I want to say Wednesday I was so engulfed with doing my respected show that after I was done and I did a little bit of editing here and there, I pretty much was just in homework mode. And I was listening to DT's show from last Wednesday. And I don't know how many of you guys are aware, because, I know to a certain degree, we got a lot of listeners that make their rounds listening to other podcasts and everything. And it's always refreshing when I'm doing something on social media or whatever, and somebody goes out of their way. Oh, hey Lee, I heard what you had said last week, and we share, like, for a lot of us, we share like the same listeners basically. And I remember last Wednesday, stay with me because this is very serious. This is very, very serious. So after I was done with the show and everything, I'm pretty much in homework mode. I'm listening to DT, and apparently there was some serious health problems that his dad was experiencing. Right down to the point there was a stress test that his dad had needed to take, and he pretty much held it off. And so DT was having flashbacks to what happened with his uncle. And long story short, his uncle, I just want to hold it off. We'll do it on blah, blah, blah. And, his uncle lost his life. Massive heart attack or whatever. And had he done that stress test, they might have been able to save him or whatever. So here's DT. He's thinking history is essentially repeating itself here because his dad is not doing the stress test when he's supposed to. And this happened during that first wave of snow that we had got recently. Just kind of really give you guys more context of a background there. But he did do the stress test on the next rescheduled joint, and pretty much, guys, they had to operate on DT's dad. Um, and to my knowledge, he's still in the hospital. Last thing I had saw, there was a pic he shared of his dad from over the weekend. He's awake, coherent, very coherent. Everything's there, and had tubes and all that, down his throat. He really, couldn't talk. But other than that, DT had shared all the messages that was sent towards his way, and nice little picture that he had took of him. The family's not even allowed to see him. And that makes a lot of sense when you think about the whole COVID protocols and all of that. That makes a lot of sense. So they basically had to FaceTime with him and everything. But the dad had the biggest smile on his face and everything. So he is on his road to recovery. I won't say he's out of the woods just yet, because for God's sake, they opened him up. They had to do surgery. I mean, there was all kind. I would definitely recommend, if you hadn't checked out DT in a while. I know he's probably getting into a lot of details about it on his respected show this week, but I can't stress it enough. If you didn't get a chance to maybe offer him, thoughts, prayers of strength, I'm sure he greatly would appreciate it. I'm sure he would. I said it to him numerous times, even reached out to him privately and all that. But yeah, Godspeed. Definitely puts a lot of things into perspective, as far as not just your own mortality, but fractured relationships with loved ones that, okay, we really aren't here forever. I mean, if there's anything that we learn, particularly, especially when it comes to this pandemic, nothing is forever. And, you just don't know when your time is going to be up. Any fractured relationships that's still lingering there, and that individual, or, what I'm saying, meant a lot to you, do what you can to try to patch things up with them. And at least, even if it's a case where you never want to talk to them again, at least you can just take comfort knowing, hey, I made peace. I'm good. This is what's up. I'm all right. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. I'm shooting from the hip here. This is a nice little segue. But not to be too long-winded, I remember there were some friends of mine from high school that I hadn't seen in probably, my God, that I hadn't seen in probably almost 10 years. And, it was great for that brief period of time. It was great seeing them again. It was great catching up on old times. It was great introducing my girl to them, and because, it's essentially, hey, these were not only my friends, but this was essentially my family when the chips were down, and, when things were difficult at my household. When I was in a bad spot and I'm wondering where my next meal's coming from, these people were always kind to me. We went to the same high school together. We went to the same college together. We stayed together. We all actually had an apartment together and all that. Shared a house together and all that. And I just remember, saying to her off and on over the years, hey, I sure would like to patch things up with them, because, we had a fallout. And the fallout, it was so fucking, it brings me back to the point that I just made now about life is too short. You never know when your time is up. Make peace, squash beef or whatever. The stupidest fucking beef that had came about. It wasn't even beef. It was basically the missus was always complaining about her man. Always complaining about her man. He should be doing this. He should be doing that. He ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. She's speaking from a place of frustration. She's speaking from a place of, I just don't know how much longer I can deal with this. And me trying to be a good friend, well, you got to show them tough love. If you really mean business, this is what you need to do. Hey, look, I'm not telling you something just to be cold-hearted. I'm telling you XYZ because I'm your friend. I'm going to give it to you right between the eyes. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And this is what's up. Well, rather than her keep that conversation between me and her, that's the way that you should do it. No, she was writing back and telling him everything that I said. Oh, yeah, he said I should leave you. He said I should maybe get a divorce. And so now I've got this friction with her husband. And we had, I don't know how it came about, but we had one of the most ugliest back and forths on the phone. It was really ugly. And I just remember, it ended with me saying, hey, man, I love her like a sister. I've known her longer than you. I met her before I met you. And he came right back. Well, I respect that, but she's my woman. She's my wife. And I just remembered at that point, it was, okay, you know what? I need to back the fuck off because there is just so much toxicity every single time I get around these people and I'm somehow intertwined with it. I don't need that in my life. And I just decided that at that point, that's it. I'm not going to have anything else to do with these people. I'm not going to talk to them anymore. Fondness of a strained heart that always reminisces. That's where I found myself a lot over the years. And then finally, I just remember sending a message a couple of years ago. I had wrote a heartfelt message and I just said, it was like on Facebook or something. I said, hey, just guess I never hear from you again. This is what's up. And I don't know what happened, but somehow they ended up reaching back and I'm thinking, oh, okay, cool. So like water's under the bridge. We're back to business as usual. The old gang, the clique, it's back together again. And somehow, here we are 10 years later. There's nothing more depressing. There's nothing more sad. There is nothing more frustrating than when you see, and I know you guys definitely know where the fuck I'm coming from, where you see people that you love, you care about, you respect a great deal. To know that, man, where you guys were 10 years ago, last I interacted with you, was really rough. You had all these problems going on. And now we fast forward 10 years later, and you all are pretty much having the same goddamn set of problems. And there's still that toxicity as a result. It was too much for me. And nowadays I'm just in this mindset of if it's not about positivity, if it's not about if it's not about putting your best foot forward and making the best maximized effort to improve your life, for the better, if it's not about positive evolution, I don't want nothing to do with it. Plain and simple. And I remember nothing was so heartbreaking than, not to get too long-winded, but nothing was so heartbreaking than, I remember I reached out to her and I had wished her a happy birthday. And you know what was her response to me? Yeah, that's all great and everything, but, you can keep that. I'm more interested in trying to get followers. Because she decided that she wanted to have a Twitch channel, and she wanted to, grow her Twitch channel and all that, and that's what was very important to her, and that stung, because here I was, if there's one thing that I learned from being with my current soon-to-be wife, well, woman, but soon-to-be wife, so the only thing I learned from her is being more open about my feelings. Not feeling ashamed to say, "Hey, I love you," to a friend, whoever, because I've always kept that shit bottled up, my feelings. And it just dismissed that. It was kind of like, "Ooh, okay." And then the second stinger came when, before the pandemic hit, when we got everything nice and set up as far as the wedding, and hey, this is what's going on. The original plan was to either have her or her husband be my best man. And I remember when I told him about, hey, this is what's going on with the wedding. I told her about the wedding, and her whole thing was, I'll never forget, it was like yesterday. She said, "I'm happy that you and Tammy have moved along, with the wedding preparations, blah this and blah that. I've got a wedding that I need to attend to. It's for my sister-in-law, blah this, blah." Okay, so she drew the line in the sand, essentially saying, "Fuck your wedding. This wedding over here is more important to me." And that was the last line of communication that I ever had. That hurt. That hurt. But you know what? I walked away saying, you know what? If I were to drop dead tomorrow, I'm all right, man, because I made peace. I made peace. Any wrongs, I corrected them. I did the very best that I could. And now it's a situation, okay, they chose. Okay, well, that's their choice. I'm not going to keep dwelling on the past. I made the effort. I'm moving on. So, if there's one thing that I learned, again, nothing is forever. Do your very best to make peace and all that. And whatever was wrong, try to set right, because you just don't know when your time is up. But shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Anthony. He's a good dude. I know many years back he used to get a bad rep, but leaps and bounds as far as character development. He's really made great strides, and I dare say he's a good man. He's a good man. As far as I'm concerned, he's a good man. And he ain't gonna be able to convince me otherwise. But shout out to him. Also shout out to Patreon member Gino Morgan. Gino. Shout out to Freddie. Shout out to Justin Ripstock, Michael Wolf, J.D. Davis. Patreon.com/RCWR show. Remember, that's the place to go to when you want to access exclusive content you're not going to be able to find anywhere else. Hey, we've been going for about 53 minutes strong, give or take. So probably about maybe actually 51 minutes. So we got a couple of more topics we can get into. I'm picturing this being probably about an hour 10, maybe almost an hour 15. But we're definitely going to be able to hit all our points and roll up out of here. And like I said, look out for that poll I'm going to put up sometime Tuesday, asking you guys, what would you like me to tackle for the Wednesday show? And we'll pretty much take it from there. But you guys definitely will get a Wednesday show. Rest in peace to pro wrestling legend Butch Reed. Butch Reed passed away due to some type of, I guess maybe it's related to his heart, but he was having some type of heart complications. 66, that's rather young when you really stop and think about it. That is extremely, I don't want to say extremely young, but given what we know with today's health and medicine, nutrition and all that, I mean, 60s is essentially the new 40. Really, it is. When you hear about somebody dying in their 70s, you're like, well, it was kind of their time. A little young, but it was kind of their time. But, to hear somebody dying in their 60s, you're like, wait a minute, whoa, what's going on here? 66. I mean, that's pretty damn young. And before anybody asked, yes, WWE, they did put up a little video graphic in memory of. They did that for SmackDown. And there were probably some of you guys that were expecting to see something on Raw tonight, but there was nothing for Raw programming. But they did, in fact, do it on SmackDown, FYI. Because I know a lot of people were probably looking, now if I had one caveat that with WWE, I kind of wish that since we were doing this we just take a step back for a second. Take a step back for a second. And this isn't long-winded. It ties to Butch Reed. Stop and think about it for a second. What month is this? Yeah, we know it's February, but seriously, what month is this? It's Black History Month. So, I don't know about you, but I love this time of the year, particularly with WWE programming, because typically I'm watching the shows on USA or whatever network they're on, and WWE always gives us a nice, hey, for Black History Month, hey, we're highlighting this week Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons did da 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 da. We're gonna highlight Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Hey, we're highlighting Naomi. Hey, we're highlighting the Junkyard Dog. We're highlighting MVP. We're highlighting Teddy Long. We're highlighting Ernie Ladd. I love that time of the month. I love that. But to not get that this week, it's kind of, and I would have just thought it'd been so classy if WWE would have did a little spot there, Black History Month, educating the younger fans about Butch Reed. Because he definitely deserved those couple of minutes there. Nobody said you had to do something long-winded on Butch Reed. You could easily put a nice little 2-minute video together. Hell, you got the archives. So you could have easily kicked back and done something. But no, you didn't do it. But yeah, he was dealing with some health issues after suffering 2 heart attacks from last year, basically. I don't know if he has suffered one the beginning of 2021, but he did suffer from 2 heart attacks last year. So, oof, you feel me on that one. And sadly, it's a conversation that most of us blacks don't want to have. But it's a conversation that we definitely need to have, not just with each other, but with our doctor. And that's, when you're 40 and up, the health complications there, you really got to be on top of your shit, because otherwise, you ain't paying attention, or you don't give a damn. There's going to be some serious ramifications of it. When you think about diabetes, when you think about heart disease, when you think about cholesterol, prostate cancer, all of these things, all of it, sadly, for us black men, it's more, we're more, what's the word? We're more likely to have problems with those things. It's fucking quite sad there. But Reed was definitely a journeyman. He was definitely a journeyman. Mid-South Wrestling, NWA, WCW, GWF, USWA, frequent tag partner of WWE legend Ron Simmons back when they were known as Doom. And when you look at Butch Reed, I mean, great fucking physique. I mean, this guy literally looked like Ron Simmons' brother, basically. I mean, they could almost pass off legitimately as brothers. I mean, they looked eerie freaking similar to one another. The natural Butch Reed. Great feuds with Tito Santana, Ricky Steamboat. I mean, this guy was something. When I go back, because I'm definitely a wrestling historian to a certain degree. I will spend hours just when I have a free moment. I will just binge on vintage shit. And when you go back and you look at the stuff with Butch Reed, you'll definitely say to yourself, man, how come Butch Reed, all the potential in the world there, man, he should have been literally right behind Ron Simmons there. Remember Ron Simmons, first black, like he should have been following up, right behind that. Like, what the hell there? But great piece of wrestling history right there. To lose somebody that young, that's rough. That is rough. So definitely my thoughts, condolences, goes out to the Reed friends, definitely the family. 66, very young, man, very young. But you know what? Whatever pain and complications, whatever was going on with him in his final days on this earth, I just hope that if he was in pain during his final days walking on this earth, I hope that if there is a paradise, if there is an afterlife, I just hope that wherever that is, he's no longer in pain. So rest in power, Butch Reed. Other than that, lighten the mood up just a little bit more. Lighten the mood up for you guys here. So you guys remember the Activision Booker T lawsuit? All right, so for you newer fans, not to be long-winded with this, they're basically, I think it was one of the Call of Duty games or some shit like that. If I remember right, I think it was Call of Duty. I think it was Black Ops or something. And I remember that there's this character, this skin graphic of one character that looked very similar to Booker T. And I don't know how Booker T found out. Maybe it was a fan that just, hey man, I was playing this game or I was watching this trailer. Man, I thought he looked so much like you. What do you think, man? Hey, that's pretty cool, ain't it? Looks like somebody's influenced by you there from Activision. And Booker T looked at this and he decided, oh, snap. Mofo actually are using my likeliness without my consent. This is a lawsuit. And so he actually slapped Activision with a lawsuit on this and everything. And apparently there is going to be a trial. There's going to be a trial on this April. It's going to be going down April the 19th. And he's suing Activision Publishing Incorporated, Activision Blizzard Incorporated, and Major League Gaming Corp, claiming that the Call of Duty character David Prophet, what is that? Wilkes? Is that how you pronounce that last name, guys? Wilkes? Wilkies? Maybe it's Wilkies. Looks like Wilkes to me. Was based on the comic book version of his former wrestling character G.I. Bro, which he used in the early 1990s and near the end of the same decade. So remember, he originally filed this lawsuit back February 2019. He says that there were 2 G.I. Bro books released in 2015, and Booker created the character and owns the copyrights. However, he claims that Activision began utilizing Booker T's G.I. Bro image in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which went on sale in late 2018. And this game, if you guys are keeping track, this game made a lot of money. How much money? It surpassed the millions. It's in the billions. So, I get that a lot of people are probably looking at this at the time and they're like, what the fuck is Booker? Man, he being petty. What the hell is... but no, this is a really good, strong case of an argument here that's definitely worth exploring. He has every right to, if he feels that he's been, somehow violated from the standpoint of, hey, nobody hit me up, nobody asked for my consent, nobody, it's his right to pursue that, just as it's you mine. Everybody has a right. The two knuckleheads that we talked about last week. Remember that? We talked about them last week, and we talked about how they questioned whether or not there was actually tuna in the Subway tuna. Remember that? They're claiming that the Subway tuna is not tuna. Hey, stupid as it is, they have a right to sue. Kind of like the girl. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there's a girl, and it would be a sister. I'm very disappointed at this. Very disappointed. But there is a sister that has decided that she wanted to sue the people behind Gorilla Glue. You can't make this shit up. So this woman decided that in order to have her hair stay down nice and perfectly, that of all the things to use, no, we're not gonna go for, just let your soul glow. We're not gonna go with soul glow. No, we ain't gonna do that. We're not gonna go with the traditional, black folks kits. We could find at our local Walmart, or go to the local convenience store. Get that Blue Magic hair grease or what. No, we ain't gonna do none of that. Nah, we gonna get some Gorilla Glue, and we gonna put that shit on our hair, and that's gonna make sure that our hair stays nice and freaking tight. It's gonna stay where it needs to stay, and we'll just worry about washing it out later. Yeah. So this woman plans on suing Gorilla Glue because oh, Lord have mercy. I've heard some stupid shit in my time, y'all. I've heard some stupid shit in my time. But this really takes the fucking cake, man. This really, 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 really fucking takes the cake. Okay, so anyway, she can't get the Gorilla Glue out of her hair, right? She's done what she's needed to do with it and all that. Now it's time for her to pretty much get it out of her hair and all that, and she can't get it out of her hair. And she talking about, I think I'm gonna go here. I might sue this company. Now, first of all, we got to remember this girl is pretty much a TikToker, basically. All right. So when you hear that, it's kind of like, okay, well, first off, I can't really take you seriously. Look, you will never, ever see a day and age where I join TikTok. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. I don't care how many people say to me, Lee, you gotta come on TikTok. Oh man, we're having a blast. Lee, you can grow your base even more. Lee, there's great ad revenue opportunity. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need it. I've seen what it's. I don't need anybody that is past 35 and is doing something on TikTok. Like, yeah, nah, sorry, nah. I question you in my book. That's about as nice as I'm gonna put it. All right, but this girl decided to put Gorilla Glue in her hair, so she spent the weekend at the ER. And you got the people there at the ER. They're hearing what's going on with this girl, and they're just, yeah. You think I'd be looking at her cockeyed too? Like, are you crazy? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously. So healthcare workers ended up putting acetone on the back of her head, but it burned her scalp, and it made the glue get gooey before hardening back up. So she was instructed to keep trying the potential remedy back home, but the rubbing alcohol hasn't proved to be the solution for her. Now, her hair has been rock solid for about a month after substituting Gorilla Glue Spray adhesive as her normal hairspray. Yeah. Stupid. Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. How stupid can you be? I don't know what pains me even more. The idiocy that's associated with this. I'm deeply hurt and offended that one of my own fellow black people, my own fellow, my brothers, my sisters, that somebody black would do this. Why? Right? So you got fucking Gorilla Glue. They put out a statement. First of all, why they even apologize? No! You got nothing to apologize for. You guys are in the clear here. But we are aware of the situation, and we are very sorry to hear about the unfortunate incident that Miss Brown experienced using our spray adhesive on her hair. Why are you apologizing? Y'all did your part. Don't eat it. Don't bake with it. Y'all did your part. Y'all got nothing to be apologizing for. Let's keep reading this statement together. This is a unique situation because this product is not intended for use in or on hair, as it is considered permanent. Now, you know what? That would have been me. Remember, marketing, PR here. Let's revise that. We are aware of the situation. We are aware of the situation concerning Miss Brown and her experience using our spray adhesive on her hair. This is a unique situation. That's how I would not put "we're sorry." No! Laugh your ass off at that shit. Come on now. I mean, you can do it behind closed doors, but obviously you don't want to. Okay, anyway. Our spray adhesive states in the warning label, do not swallow, do not get in eyes, on skin, or on clothing. It is used for craft, home, auto, or office projects to mount things to surfaces such as paper, cardboard, wood, laminate, and fabric. We are glad to see in her recent video that Ms. Brown has received medical treatment from her local medical facility and wish her the best. I was talking with my friends about this privately on Facebook, and we were just going back and forth about this. And we were just like, how stupid can you be? Seriously. And I summed it up perfectly with one of my friends I was talking to. I said, and I'm actually looking at the direct quote here. I said, man, that lawsuit ain't going nowhere. That lawsuit ain't going nowhere. They, being Gorilla Glue, should countersue for her being stupid. That'd be like, I want my eyes to stay open so I never miss nothing. Let me go get some crazy glue. My eyes stay open, but I go blind in the process. Yeah, I'm going to turn right around after that, and I'm going to sue crazy glue. Yeah, homie, good luck with that. Good luck with that, homie. Seriously, good luck with that. Yeah. I'm trying to digress. I mean, I wish this was a troll story, but this is real. The victim is real and everything. So this, boy, I tell you, I don't know what's crazier. This or the woman that was cooking with flaming hot Cheetos, and she basically turned the hot Cheetos into a freaking gravy sauce and pretty much put it in her mac and cheese. Yeah, that's another thing that was quite popular apparently over the weekend. So peep that out if you guys didn't get a chance to check that out. Let's see. We can go extra couple of more minutes. Real quick. I finally was able to see the new Batwoman. I actually watched the first 3 episodes because that's all that's out right now. Batwoman will be back with an all new episode this coming Sunday. That will be episode number 4. But I watched the first 3 episodes on the CW app. So for those of you that, if you're kind of like me, I got YouTube TV. And sadly, not yet, but I have a feeling it's going to happen hopefully in the next 2 years. There's no CW network on YouTube TV. But I'm pretty confident that's gonna be resolved and all that, and we'll see it within the next 2 years. But I wanted to see what was going on with this new actress that has taken on the Batwoman mantle after Ruby Rose, prematurely stepped away from the role. She just could not handle the physical aspects of it anymore, and I mean, it was really doing a serious toll on her physically and mentally, and she just had to get away from the whole situation. And sadly, I never watched an episode of Batwoman with Ruby Rose in the lead. I watched the what was that little mini series that they did last year? That 5-part mini series, Infinite Crisis. I did watch that, so that was like my first. Okay, what's up? And I just teach its own. Now, I'm sure she was in her own respected right, good as Batwoman, but she didn't do anything for me. I didn't gravitate towards her character. There was nothing. The only characters that I really gravitated towards was because I watched it because I remember reading the miniseries, so I was very curious. Okay, let's see how closely this is going to follow the miniseries. But then the other part of me was, okay, well, some of these cat shows I've never watched before, so am I going to come away from this going, I got to watch their show? Or, hey, I got to watch their show. Now, I was already on top of Black Lightning, and I've been binging like a motherfucker all weekend, getting ready for the final season of Black Lightning. So sad, man, because that is a well-directed, well-written, beautifully cast series. Episode to episode. I mean, that is great. And just alone on the great soundtrack that they use, the scoring for each episode. I mean, top-notch quality shit. But anyway, so I already knew about Black Lightning. Like, okay. Like, who else? I tried watching Supergirl when I remember watching Supergirl when she was on CBS. I ain't care for it. I ain't care for it. So really, the only series that I walked away from Infinite Crisis going, okay, I'm going to watch this, was Arrow. And I was kicking myself in the ass because I'm going, man, I can't believe I never gave Arrow the time or day. But because of the cool shit that I had saw from the Infinite Crisis miniseries, it made me go, oh, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and check out some more Arrow episodes. So Arrow was really the only thing that I came away, okay, this was pretty good. So I went into the first 3 episodes of Batwoman, really saying, okay, clean slate with me. I don't really know nothing about this Ruby Rose and, really what she was doing as Batwoman. Let's see what's going on here with this new actress. And I remember just reading all the scrutiny, everybody getting their panties in a bunch when it was announced that Javicia Leslie, hopefully I'm pronouncing her name, she was cast as the new Batwoman, new character and all that. And everybody was just in an uproar. Oh, she's black. Bad enough wasn't even Jewish Batwoman. It wasn't even a blind Batwoman. All this crazy shit that's going on. And it's like black, white, none of that should matter. What should matter is, okay, can we get behind this actress? 1, in this lead role. 2, the story arc for her. Is this something that, we can really get behind that's pretty believable? Can we go with the flow here? And I gotta tell you, Miss Leslie, she has been doing a phenomenal job as Ryan Wilder / Batwoman. Even those 3 episodes, she's been doing a pretty good job. I gotta say, for you guys that have not seen her in action yet. You haven't caught up on the first 3 episodes. I won't spoil anything for you. What I will say to you guys, the fact that Ruby Rose abandoned this role, it creates a big shadow, definitely over this new season. There's definitely a shadow, and it's interesting how they go about. It's interesting how they go about trying to explain, what happened to Rose's character. Now, this much I will say to you guys: the way it's coming off as if Rose's character is alive, even though we never see her. It's coming off as if she is alive. So then that creates a very interesting dynamic here where are we eventually going to see Ruby return and officially the proper send off, that way, and the mantle is yours. I'm not doing, are we going to get that type of closure, or is it going to be a case where, that's where I'm very curious, because the fact that they just did not kill off Ruby Rose's character, at least not yet, I mean, it's still early, but I don't know. You just kind of look at that and you go, so where are we going with this? Did things end in such a way with Ruby Rose where they totally understood where she was coming from a mental and physical standpoint, that they wanted to go on ahead? No, we understand. Hey, you're putting us in a bad spot, but, we totally understand. Obviously, some hurt feelings there from the producer standpoint and all that. Obviously, there's probably some hurt feelings there, but is it a case where, okay, look, you go rest up, you go do what you need to do. We understand. We'll just somewhere down the road, is it kind of one of those deals, or have they killed off her character and we'll just get to a point where no, she's actually dead? It's kind of one of those type of deals. But I gotta tell you, the circumstances in which it comes off that the character is dead, all I kept thinking about, I don't know if you guys that watched it were thinking the same way as well, but all I could think about was Kobe Bryant. I'm not over exaggerating. When you just, the circumstance, and you actually see, you're like, because you pretty much get to see how Ryan gets a hold of the Batman costume and all that, and you're just going, it's pretty tough to sit through. I actually had to pause and go, where are we going with this now? And I gotta say, the way that they went about it, they tried to be as tasteful and very respectful as possible when they were trying to explain what all happened with the Ruby Rose character and all that. But no, I think Homegirl's doing a pretty damn good job so far. I admit the series comes off a little bit cheesy, but overall, I would say it's a decent show. It ain't nothing like Black Lightning. It ain't nothing like Luke Cage or anything like that, but it's a decent show. I'll definitely say that. So I'm continuing to give it a chance, riding it out, see where we go for rest of this season. So check it out. As far as thumbs up, thumbs down, for the time being, what I've seen so far, it gets a thumbs up from me. Check it out. You guys would be cool, especially if you got young kids running around, and they're pretty big into the superheroes. You dads with the daughters. It's definitely a nice, good series that you can kick back with the family. You can really get lost into. It doesn't go that route that Luke Cage and Black Lightning particularly goes. You feel where I'm coming from? Almost kind of doing the ripping of the headlines of, Black Lives Movement and all that. It looks like, for now at least, it's not going in that direction. So check it out. Last thing, congrats, Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl. Very impressive. Very impressive for this man to win his 7th Super Bowl in his 10th appearance at a Super Bowl. That's a pretty damn good number. I mean, I had put the tweet out, and I watched this game, and what was most surprising to me, we can go extra couple of more minutes. I'm feeling pretty good. What was most surprising to me was the fact that the Bucks defensive line, they put such a number on Patrick Mahomes. I mean, they owned his ass like gravy on mashed potatoes. I mean, Mahomes just did not have an answer. The offensive coordinator, I mean, Arians just, I'm sorry, Andy Reid, no answer. No answer for that Bucks D line. I mean, some people are going, well, he wasn't exactly Mahomes, that is. Mahomes wasn't exactly at 100% because he was kind of having this problem going on with his toe. And hey, look, when it's all said and done, the fans, at the end of the day, they don't care about that shit. They do not give a flying fuck about that shit. What they care about the most, oh, I see that Mahomes is playing. All right, cool. All that other stuff after the fact, man, that's just excuses. If you got that jersey number on and you got that helmet on, okay, you playing. All right, you playing, cool. If you ain't got it on, and I get it. Like, well, what was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to sit it out? Like, no, because he needs to give his team every single possibility of winning. He was their best option. But not for nothing, there was plenty of instances where I'm seeing Mahomes running, seemed like he was doing pretty damn good and everything. But no, what I saw of what was going on with Mahomes and dealing with that Bucks D-line, I mean, they got to him frequent. They got to him and they laid a licking on him. And I just started seeing a kid after a while, after a couple of those hits, or sacks and all that, I just started seeing a kid that never did get his nerves truly settled. And okay, let's just compose here and let's just really, take this one step at a time. And let's just, after a while, I just started seeing a kid in Mahomes come up from out of the pocket and just getting this erratic sense of urgency to, it wasn't smart. I mean, giving up a couple of interceptions there. The throws that he was doing, like haste in a haste, trying to force something and creating a very bad situation for his team. Yeah, that D line. But Tom Brady, I got to flip it to Tom Brady. Tom Brady, look, not for nothing. I mean, what he had like about over 200 and something yards, basically for the entire game when it was all said and done. But when it was all said and done, in regards to Tom Brady, he was very smart. And okay, let's throw the ball here. Let's throw the, I forgot his QBR rating, but I think he was somewhere between 70 to maybe 80% out of 100%. Okay, so that's pretty damn good. Mahomes was much lower. His QBR rating was much lower. I think Mahomes was somewhere in the 20 to 45% range. So not good. But Tom Brady threw when let's go here. Because remember, there was a period there where he did about 9 or 10 consecutive successful throws. And you're like, man, this guy's on a good fucking streak. Those couple of times there where he got Gronk involved early, Gronk getting, 2 touchdowns. Then he gets Evans wild up, Fournette wild up. You're like, man, this gets Antonio Brown involved in there. I mean, this guy was just, he was spreading that joy. He was spreading that love all around. I mean, he was getting everybody involved with that. I mean, what I saw from Tom Brady was a masterpiece when it was all said and done, what he put out there. And for Tom Brady to win the MVP, I kind of question it. I will say I kind of question it because I remember when Jim Nantz and Tony Romo had put out the word, hey, you guys can now cast your vote on who you think is the Super Bowl MVP. My mind was already made up. I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it to Brady. as much as I would like to give it to the D line, I mean, the D line as a whole, but you can't do that because you got to pick one individual, and it was really a team effort on that D line. But if I could just D line, hands down, then, yeah, my vote definitely would have just hands down to the D line. So then I had to really kind of, who do I give it to? And for me, it was, okay, it's either Brady or Gronk. Because when Gronk got those first 2 touchdowns, it was like, okay, the tone's been set. This is pretty much what the Bucs are going to be building off of here. And I mean, it was just, when you got to that third quarter, it pretty much was over. But when you went to the site, the NFL.com site, and you were trying to cast your vote, shit just kept loading. And you're like, what the fuck? And I was the only one. There was a lot of people that were having the same issue. They could not vote. So to hear that Tom Brady had got the Super Bowl MVP, you know what? I'm okay with that. And I think when it's all said and done, I think the way as far as the voting had probably went down, it's probably one of those cases where, just look at everything that, and I'm sure that's probably how the fans were really thinking about everybody that voted. I'm sure it was a case of just look at everything that Brady had did like this entire season and just being able to take the team to the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl on top of that. They went into this game as underdogs. Remember that. They went into this game as underdogs. Everybody was favoring the Chiefs. And look at what happened there. And you got a 43-year-old Brady saying, yeah, we're going to run this back. We're just getting started. We're going to run this back. He just may play until he's 45. I'll tell you this for sure, for the next 4 years. For me, just everything that I saw with the Bucs this season and how everything just started kind of, all right, you see the potential. We just need these guys clicking on all cylinders, and then they're off to the races. And, pretty much, what was it? After that one devastating defeat that they took at the hands of the Saints earlier in the season, pretty much after that, they went on like, what was it? Like an 8-game, 9-game win streak or some shit like that. And I mean, they were just, yeah. You know what? For the next 4 years, I wouldn't be surprised if you told me Bucs, Green Bay, Chiefs are all going to be sharing that Super Bowl. It's going to be going around between those 3 teams. If you were to tell me that, like, yeah, I see that. I'm cool with that. I don't know what's going on with Drew Brees. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if what I saw this season, I don't know, man. I don't know. If he comes back, first of all, that would shock me. But then the second question, I'm just not as confident that Brees could get as close as he did this season. I don't know if he's going to be able to get even closer. You feel me? I'm not convinced. I'm definitely seeing some decline there in his game. I'm definitely seeing decline there. So I don't know, but Tom Brady, just everything that he's been able to do for that organization, for me, in my eyes, and I've been following football for decades upon decades. I don't just follow one particular team. I follow multiple teams, and I can tell you just with all I've seen of Belichick, Patriots, and all that, I gotta tell you, for me personally, Bill Belichick really feels exposed. He really, really does. It just really puts in perspective and makes you kind of take a step back and say, who really deserves the credit here? For those Super Bowl wins. Is it really Belichick? Or was it always Tom Brady and just that discipline that Belichick was able to, I won't say it's a slippery slope, but let me tell you something. If Brady wins, I'm going to say this, what'll convince me in my mind even more. I mean, the question is already raised in my mind at least. But what's going to really solidify for me, Brady, always Brady, is if Brady can win 2 more Super Bowls with Tampa Bay. If he can win 2 more, that for me, I mean, he's already got it in my mind. He's already got it. Just the fact that he was able to just pick the most shittiest team in the league. Saw some good potential in their weapons, though, and pretty much expanded upon that. Got Gronk to come back, was able to get Antonio Brown to come in there and everything. Just the fact that he was able to, do what he was able to do and just really turn it around and everything. And you essentially got the same. Everybody's coming back. Nobody's having contract issues. Everybody's good. So the fact that you're going to be able to have all these guys back and you're going to be able to run it back again. And we're talking about the next 4 years. And Tom Brady's 43 right now? For me, personally, to each its own, but for me personally, if Brady can win 1 more Super Bowl within the next 3 years, I've seen what I need to see. I think he's going to definitely silence a lot of folks that are continuing to have that, Belichick. Nah, for me, Belichick has already been exposed. But now the question really becomes, okay, Belichick, let's see how you do in the next season. Let's see what you got. Because now all eyes are going to be on you, and I don't know, man. That team is in some serious rebuilding mode. I'm talking about the Patriots. That's in some serious rebuilding mode right now. But very impressed with what I saw from Tom Brady. Great performance. Again, just everything that he was able to do. Coming in, helping out that organization. Just, Mahomes. Let me tell you something about the Chiefs. They needed this. Sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth and knocked on your ass and pretty much learn from it, come back, more experience, more tougher than ever. Trust me when I say Mahomes and crew, Andy Reid and them, they're going to come back from this. Trust me when I say that. They're going to come back from this, and remember what I said. If you were to tell me for like the next 4-5 years, Chiefs, Bucks, Green Bay, if you were to tell me they all are going to be passing that Super Bowl around for the next 4 to 5 years, nah. Yeah, the Chiefs will be all right. They're going to learn from this. They're still somewhat of a young group, when it's all said and done, somewhat of a young team still. But they're going to learn from this, and trust me, if these two teams were to ever meet up again, that's going to be interesting. That's all I got to say. That's going to be very, very interesting. All right, getting ready to wrap it up here. All right, Wednesday, new RCWR show. Look out for that poll, because I want to know what you guys want. If you guys want me to just talk NXT, or if you guys want me to talk AEW. So make sure you sound off on that one. And let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, shut this down. I got school in the morning. Nice that we kind of boop. We went a little bit all over the place, so we did pretty good. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use keywords, the RCWR show. I'm not gonna be putting the audio version of this episode out until probably Tuesday night. Most likely is when I'm going to be doing it, Tuesday night. FYI. See, we got Impact Wrestling. They're going to be doing a pay-per-view this Saturday. I'll tell you guys more about that when we do the show on Wednesday. I'm thinking I'll probably do a post show. We'll see. We'll see about that. Sorry, I'm got an email alert just now. Something school related. But yeah, we're definitely going to be doing a post show covering that Impact No Surrender. That's what's going to be coming up. So that should be interesting, because Saturday is going to be Impact Wrestling's No Surrender event, and then Sunday is going to be the NXT takeover event. So a very interesting weekend as far as wrestling content goes. But in the meantime, please be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed, available on demand and on the downloads, wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, we are on Spotify. Again, wherever you get your podcast, but I kind of want to stress Spotify because a lot of people aren't aware that we do have the Spotify feed back up for the show. The way I'm setting it up for now, I'm just releasing episodes of Impact Showdown covering Impact Wrestling Fallout. Maybe at a later date, I'll entertain the idea of uploading episodes of the RCWR show and then, other stuff from time to time. But right now, that Spotify feed is just strictly for Impact Showdown. But yeah, I'm glad we did a short show. I felt good. I was kind of feeling a little bit sleepy and all that, but I got my alarm set, so I'm pretty much good to go as far as my classes for the morning. So when it's all said and done, you guys got about an hour 38-minute show, give or take. So I'm happy we kind of gave you a little bit more. Hey, long as we stay the hell away from 2 hours, I'm totally okay with that. Those of you that tuned in live, I appreciate the love and the support as always. Please, on your way out, if you didn't do so already, hit the like button. It helps out the YouTube team as far as recommendations of content. They see that you like this, they see those likes, they see you like it. That helps them say to folks trying to discover new content, hey, check this out. These guys like this. You will like this. Doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps us out big time as far as trying to reach out and expand to more people, grow the fan base even more. You feel where I'm coming from? So do that. And spread the word, tell a friend, all that. Word of mouth always helps. Good old fashioned stuff always helps. Till next go round, wishing all y'all to be safe, and most importantly, please be kind to one another. I'll see you guys. Take care.